getting what you really want out of an AI can feel like a total guessing game. But what if I told you there's a secret language, a specific way of talking to it that unlocks its true power? Well, today, we're diving into exactly that, the art and the science of prompt engineering.
And to kick things off, let's look at something that really caught my eye, a huge development in the job market. We're talking about a role that just a few years ago didn't even exist. But now,
strategizing the path forward,
exploding.
Engineering precise solutions,
how critical this skill
venturing into new opportunities.
Get a load of this number, 400%. According to a recent LinkedIn report, that's the staggering year-over-year increase for jobs in AI prompt engineering. It's an absolutely massive signal that being able to talk to AI effectively is becoming one of the most valuable skills out there.
And no, this isn't just some tiny niche thing. As WorkFlexi points out, it is one of the fastest growing careers in all of tech. We're talking serious money here, with salaries jumping from $90,000 all the way up to $250,000 a year. It's wild.
Okay, so all this demand, these huge salaries, it naturally leads to the big question, right? What in the world does a prompt engineer actually do? What does it even mean to be an architect of conversation with an AI? So let's get right into it. Let's break down what prompt engineering really is, because, and this is the key, it is so much more than just typing a question into a box. It's all about giving precise, carefully structured instructions. At its core, this is the textbook definition. It's the craft of designing your questions, your prompts, to guide an AI. The whole goal is to get responses that aren't just kinda right, but are super accurate, totally relevant, and have the exact level of detail you're looking for. And this right here is the perfect example. Look at the difference. On the left, you've got a really vague request. Explain machine learning. Who knows what you'll get back? A giant essay, something super technical? But look at the right. The engineered prompt is specific. It sets a tone. In simple terms, it asks for specifics, examples, focusing on supervised and unsupervised learning, and it gives a clear constraint. Keep it under 200 words. That level of detail is what makes all the difference. And you can see the same idea with images, which is just brilliant. A photo of a deer. Yeah, okay, it's a deer. It's generic. But when you engineer that prompt, when you specify the type of deer, what it's doing, the lighting, the background, you go from a basic, boring picture to something that feels like a piece of art, something that actually tells a story.
So how do we actually start building these kinds of powerful prompts? Well, let's open up the basic toolkit. We're going to find two fundamental techniques that every single prompt engineer needs to have in their back pocket.
All right, the two big ideas to start with are called zero-shot and few-shot prompting. Honestly, the difference is super simple, but incredibly powerful. It all just boils down to one thing. Do you give the AI examples or not? Zero-shot is, the most direct way to do it. You just give the AI a task it's never explicitly been trained on, and you hope its massive pre-existing knowledge is enough to figure it out. Think of it like asking a master chef to whip up a dish they've never even heard of. They can probably pull it off, but the final result is going to depend heavily on how well you described it. And the huge advantage here? Speed. I mean, just look at this comparison. A traditional machine learning workflow can take weeks, even months. But with a zero-shot approach, you can go from an idea to a working solution in a matter of minutes or hours. For getting things done quickly, it's an absolute game changer. But then you have few-shot prompting. This is where you give the AI a little cheat sheet. You include 2, 3, maybe 5 examples of what you want right inside the prompt. This triggers something called in-context learning. It's like you're showing a student a few solved math problems right before giving them a new one. The AI picks up the pattern from the examples you provided, and that can seriously boost its accuracy. Okay, but what about the really hard stuff? What about problems that aren't just a simple back and forth? Problems that need multiple logical steps to figure out? Well, this is where prompt engineering gets really, really cool. This is where we go from just getting answers to actually teaching an AI how to think. The massive breakthrough here came when researchers realized something really important. For these complex problems, just getting the right answer at the end wasn't enough. They needed the AI to explain its process, to basically show its work, just like we all had to do in math class. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes the solution is shockingly simple. Researchers found that by just adding this one little phrase to a prompt, let's think step by step, it triggers a powerful technique called chain of thought prompting. It actually forces the AI to slow down and break the problem into smaller pieces. And this is exactly what it looks like in practice. Instead of just spitting out the answer 11, the model lays out its entire thought process. Step 1, it identifies what Roger starts with. Step 2, it does the multiplication. Step 3, it does the addition. This step-by-step approach makes it so much more likely to get the right answer on these tricky, multi-step problems. Now, being able to guide an AI's internal reasoning is already incredible, right? But believe it or not, that's just the start. This is opening up a future where the AI doesn't just think inside its digital brain, but can actually go out and interact with the world. So the absolute cutting edge of prompt engineering right now are these new frameworks that let an AI use external tools. Just try to imagine an AI that when it gets stuck can decide for itself to go search the web, or check a calculator, or look something up in a database. One of the coolest frameworks for this is called React, which is short for reason and act, and it creates this amazing loop. First, there's a thought, where the AI thinks, okay, here's my plan. Then it takes an action, like searching for something. Finally, it makes an observation based on what it found. That observation then feeds into its next thought, and the whole cycle starts over. It's constantly thinking, doing, and learning. This completely changes the job of a prompt engineer. You're no longer just a wordsmith writing good questions. You're becoming an architect of these complex, autonomous AI behaviors. And that leaves us with one final, pretty mind-bending question to chew on. As we master this, are we just getting better at talking to our computers, or are we actually teaching them how to go out and talk to the world on their own?